We are going to switch over to a variety game. I want to introduce you guys to this really cool game that I found over the weekend. I had not heard of this game before. It's a puzzle game called Understand. Understand. Let's see here. And I call it Reverse Baba Is You because in Baba Is You, my number one favorite game, my number one favorite single player game of all time, by the way, in Baba Is You, your objective is to manipulate the rules of the game. Let's see if this works. You guys see this? Okay, there you go. Ooh, it's bright. I'm sorry, I don't think there's a way to do dark mode. But this is a little bit better, right? So in Baba Is You, it's all about manipulating the rules of the level to get the win condition. In this game called Understand, you are trying to, there are hidden rules for each level, and you are trying to deduce what each hidden rule is and then solve the puzzles so that they adhere to the hidden rules. And the rules, the number of hidden rules is represented by the number of dots at the bottom of your screen. Each dot represents one hidden rule, okay? So, have you guys ever heard of the, yeah, it's kind of like The Witness. Yeah, it is in that way. Have you guys ever heard of the 2-4-6 psychology problem? It's like, it goes like this. Like, you're in a classroom, the teacher tells you that he's thinking of a rule that governs a sequence of numbers, and that the sequence of 2-4-6 follows this rule. And then he says, you can test as many 3-number sequences as you want. I'll tell you whether yes or no, whether the 3-number sequence you give me follows this rule or not. And then when you're confident enough, you can write down on a piece of paper what you think the rule is. And so students will test like 4, 6, 8, and he'll say, yes, that follows the rule. And then they'll test like 10, 12, 14, and he'll say, yes, that follows the rule. And they'll be like, all right, I've solved it. It's just the next number is 2 higher than the current number, and that won't be correct. And some like 5-head students might be like, what if it's like x, 2x, 3x? So we'll try 3, 6, 9. It's 3, 6, 9 following the rule, and he'll say yes. But but like very few people test like negative rules. They'll test like very few people will test like 7, 1, 4 and see if that satisfies it or not. Or they'll test like 21, 22, 23, see if that satisfies it or not. And you need to test those things to eliminate all the possibilities. Like the rule could be just 3 numbers in ascending order, and all those like 2, 4, 6 fits those rules, but that's like you don't get enough information if you don't test that, right? So this is the introductory level. I've actually already played like an hour of this game, but I wanted to show you guys the introductory, some levels that I've already played, just so that you guys get the concept. So like at the beginning of each set, so this is a set, there's like 4 levels in this set, and it's the same rule. It's the same rules that applies to all 4 levels of this set, okay? And on the first level, there's a suggested, you're drawing a line. You're drawing a line from a start point to an end point, and it can squiggle and turn and go through these grid boxes. And at the first level, it suggests something. So you start here, you end here. That successfully satisfies both rules. And then you try some other things, like, does that work? Nope. That doesn't satisfy the rule. Going from circle to square satisfies the rule, but going from square to circle doesn't. So then you try like this. That doesn't work either. Then you go this, and it works. So circle to square. It like very initially, I'm thinking, everybody's probably thinking, okay, you just have to, the first rule is you start at a circle, and the second rule is you end as a square. You can test that, right? You go like this. Starts as a circle, that first rule is active. End of the square, that second rule is satisfied. So it looks like, yeah, very simple. Start at a circle, end at a square. That doesn't work, but this works. Easy, right? But it will get a lot harder than that very quickly. Let's see here. Let me pick this one. All right, here's the suggestion. For 1-3, the suggestion is to go like this. There's 3 rules in this set. So maybe start at a circle, end at a square, and it could be like go through the downward facing triangle, or it could be don't go through the upward facing triangle. So if we do this, the 2 rules are set, but the third one is not. So something like that, right? You see this? This line here that I just tried, it doesn't go through any symbols, but yet it satisfies a rule. So that can tell you the difference between this rule is going, is it telling me to go through the down arrow, or is it just telling me don't go through the up arrow? And it's like kind of, it's maybe closer to, we've eliminated the possibility that the third rule is go through the down triangle. So maybe even this works. Yeah, the triangles are just not doing anything. They're just red herrings here. So we just need to not go through any up triangles. But this also forces us to go through down triangles. And we can maybe start at any circle? Oh, also, on the last level of each set, they don't show you if the individual rules are satisfied or not. On the last level of each set, you only get either a failure or a completion. So you really have to understand, the game forces you to understand what the individual rules are before you get to the last level. So we have to find a path here that goes through, that doesn't touch any up arrows, or something like that. There's a path here that goes through only down arrows, doesn't touch any up arrows. All right. I picked out let's see. I picked out another one, this one. See, they look very similar, but it's a little, there's progression here. All right, so suggestion, there's 2 rules on this set. Yeah, pretty cool, right, Sadusm? Glad you guys are thinking it's interesting, and Easy B as well. All right, so what could this be? This could be anything. This could be start at a circle, end at a square. It could be like weird stuff. So start at a circle, end at a square. That still works. Start at a circle, end at a square doesn't work here. But what about this one? This works. So why does this work and this doesn't work? What is the actual rule? Why is this reverse Baba is you? I'll let you guys think about this, and you can take guesses on this one. Since I've already solved this level, you guys can take guesses, or you can ask me to try different things to see if it works or not. Here's the 4th level in this set. This is, I call this reverse Baba is you, and it's not exactly, but like Baba is you has to do with manipulating the rules of the level, and this game is trying to figure out what those rules are of the level. Need to go to the right. Okay, so how about like this? Nope, that doesn't work. I'm going to the right. It doesn't work. From left to right. J. William James says top line only. Maybe that works, right? So what are we thinking? Circle to square? No. Left to right? No. Circle to square? No. Top line only? Ah. So J. William James is looking like maybe he had the correct hunch of top line only, and it doesn't actually, like, see, the rules don't have to just be about shapes. It can be about a lot of different things. It can be about positioning, it can be about length, it could be about like other concepts, and these concepts will be introduced over time, I think. How new is this game? I think it's like less than 5 years old. I think it's like 2 or 4 years old. You can you can look it up, right? It's called understand. Can a line go diagonal? Nope, it cannot go diagonal. It can go in 4 different directions, and then you can turn and stuff. 2020, nice. Okay, so now we know, or we're fairly confident that it's top line only, and that's confirmed. So this is introducing you to new concepts. So there are like different chapters, I guess, like chapter 1, chapter 2. They're different ideas. So what about this? Okay, so this is the suggested line for the first level. Could be anything. Circle to square. Is it circle to square? Nope. Is it square to circle? Yeah, but why is it square to circle here on the second level, but circle to square on the first level? Does every square to circle work? Every square to circle seems to work. The same path also works, but these non-same paths also work. All right. What about here? Circle to square, or square to circle? No, square to circle to square. Circle to square satisfies one rule. The second rule in this level. Corner to middle. Not exactly. So triangle to square works through the circle. Triangle to square without the circle also works. So I think through these first 3 levels, I got a really good hunch on what it is when I was originally playing it. Do you guys? I don't think anybody has said the right answer yet, but I'm happy to test for you guys if you guys want to take a guess. Corner to square. I mean, corner to square. This is not corner to square. This is corner to circle. So that's eliminated, right? Your idea from a corner space to... So we can try other things, right? Look. We can try one square. One square doesn't satisfy any rules. This doesn't satisfy any rules. This doesn't satisfy any rules. So we know that this satisfies both rules, right? So what about just this? Just a one square, no line, just a dot. That satisfies... Starting at this square and ending at this tile satisfies the first rule. Starting at the circle and ending at the circle satisfies the second rule. Buddy Bo says most to least. That's a good guess. In the first level, there's 2 circles and 1 square. So we're going from the shape that has the most to the shape that has the least. Same thing here. The shape with the most number, highest number, to the shape with the fewest. And here as well, like any triangle to any square satisfies this rule, both rules. Starting in a triangle satisfies the first rule because we're starting at the shape that has the most number, the highest number. Starting at, or ending at the square also satisfies the second rule because we're ending at the one with the least number. All right, so this is the final level. So if the guess is, if our theory is the shape with the most, start at the shape with the most and end at the shape with the fewest. There's 5 squares here, so I think that's the most. And there's one, whatever this shape is. What is this shape? What do you guys call this shape, by the way? Exploded celery. Okay, we're calling that the exploded celery from now on. So we want to go from square to exploded celery. And any square to any exploded celery should win. Octagon? No, an octagon has 8 sides. This has more than 8 sides. This has 12 sides? I think. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 sides? 16 sides? I don't know. Weird. 16 sides, I think. Anyways. Exploded celery. Let's just call it an exploded celery. Alright. And I'm gonna take you guys through two more sets that I've completed, and then we'll start where I left off. Hey Aegis. It's a new puzzle game that I wanted to show you guys called Understand. It's about understanding and figuring out, deducing the rules of a level. The rules of the game. Okay, so the suggestion is here. So there's 3 different rules. So if I start here, if I start and end here on the circle, it satisfies the first rule. If I start and end on this square, it satisfies the second rule. Same thing here. On empty square is nothing. So it looks like the first rule is start on a circle and the second rule is end on a square. That works too. Interesting. So I'm not sure what the fourth rule or the third rule is yet, but it looks like we're starting on a circle and ending on a square. Not exactly. This one doesn't satisfy the first rule anymore. So why is that? Ending on a square is still good. Starting on a star is good now. Wait, what? Start on a star, end on a square, and then a third rule. So you have to test what the rules are. Yeah, you have to test what the rules are. It's a little bit of trial and error, but also a lot of deduction, because you're testing a lot of hypotheses, but you have to figure out which one, like how to best test or how to most efficiently test to eliminate possibilities and also support your hypotheses. Again, most to least? No, it's not most to least, because that doesn't work. You notice that this satisfies only the first rule, but this satisfies the second rule? Is it to do with the number of tiles, says Wamu? So this is covering 4 total tiles. This is covering 4 tiles. This is covering 4 tiles. That's covering 4 tiles. This third rule looks like it might be the number of tiles needs to be exactly 4. But what about the first and second rules? I'm not sure what the first and second rules are. This game looks cool, yeah. Most to square with through 4 tiles, says Murek. Okay? Star is the most, ending on square through 4 tiles. That seems to work. Seems to work this way too. But there's no square in this version. In this level, there's no square. What? Okay, so 4 tiles. This is correct. This seems like 4 tiles is the third rule. So this up arrow is positive. This right arrow is positive. So it looks like ending on the up arrow and starting on the right arrow. But why? Why? We want to. It looks like, yeah, starting on the right arrow and ending on the top up arrow with 4 tiles. That satisfies it, but why is it right arrow to up arrow here? There's 3 right arrows and 2 up arrows, 4 down arrows, and 1 left arrow. Why does that work? I'm not sure, actually. I kind of forgot. It has to start with a vertical line, maybe? What's an up arrow? This is an up arrow. This arrow is pointing up. Okay, so now this is the final level, but we don't fully understand what the rules are yet. We need a length of 4. We need to figure out what the rule is before we tackle that final level. Does it have to do with the number of... Oh. Okay, I think I know now. So, in the first level, we're going from a shape that has 3 copies to a shape that has 2 copies. In this level, we're going from a shape that has 3 copies to a shape that has 2 copies. Same thing here. And here, there's 3 copies of the right arrow and 2 copies of the up arrow. So we're looking for maybe a shape that has 3 copies here, which is star, to a shape that has 2 copies, which is... Wait, there's 4 stars. There's 3 squares. 3 squares and 2 exploded celeries. So we need to go from a square to an exploded celery with 4 tiles. Easy. Start at a square that has 3 copies to an exploded celery that has 2 copies, and then have a distant, like a total tile coverage of 4. And that's it. Okay. This one. This one is actually pretty interesting, I think, if I remember correctly. All right. The suggestion is to start at a star and go to the blank space. That satisfies the 2 rules of this level. You glad you made an lasting impact on the stream? Yeah, those shapes are now forever known as exploded celeries. Starting at a star and ending at the star also satisfies both rules. Starting and ending in the blank only satisfies the first rule. Starting at and ending at a triangle satisfies both rules as well. Covering all 3 tiles only satisfies the first rule. Okay. So what about this? Let's try some stuff. That works. That works. So the same shape to the same shape works. But anything that includes more than 1 shape doesn't work. So exactly 1 shape. So the first rule must be something that looks at exactly 1 shape. Wait, that doesn't work. What? Why doesn't this work? I'm starting and ending at this tile, but it's not working. Doesn't satisfy either rule. It does work here, though. Starting and ending at the star works, satisfies both rules here, but doesn't satisfy either rule here. So, it could be something like, the first rule could be you don't have more than 1 shape. The second rule could be you have all copies of 1 shape. No more than 1 shape, all copies of that shape. All copies of 1 shape. So like, no, that doesn't work. So maybe not? So the first rule seems right. Our guess that the first rule is no more than 1 shape seems right. Because these are all... Wait, no, that's not correct at all. That's not correct at all, because this has no more than 1 shape, and it doesn't satisfy the first rule. This is no more than 1 shape as well, and it doesn't satisfy the first rule. Wamu says half of the figures in the picture. So there's two symbols here, and we've selected 1 of them. There's 4 symbols here, and we've selected 2 of them. There's 6 symbols here, and we select 3 of them, and that works. That also satisfies this second rule. This satisfies both of them. So it does look like the second rule is half. The second rule could be exactly half of the number of shapes in this level. What's the first rule then? Why does this work for the first rule and this also works for the first rule? And this also works for the first rule, but this does not. So maybe the first rule is does not include all of the shapes. Does not include all of the shapes in this level. Leave at least one group untouched. Yeah, maybe. What do the circles in the bottom center mean? They represent hidden rules. So there's 2 circles. That means this set of puzzles has 2 hidden rules that govern them, and you're trying to deduce what each of those rules are, and solve like puzzles that fit those rules, that draw a line that fits and satisfies all of those hidden rules. So we're thinking rule 2 is select half of the figures, and rule 1 is don't select every single type. So here there's 10 figures, 10 shapes total. So we need to select 5 of them, right? Does that work? So this... What? So this, the 5 thing works. It's, the 5 seems right. But like here, we're not selecting all of the shapes, and the first rule's still not right. Must use all of a shape type and use half of the shapes. Could be, Gulo. So this is 5 shapes, and it uses all the shapes of that are included in here. So there are no leftover stars, there's no leftover triangles. Whereas here, like, you have a leftover star and a leftover circle, even though you've chosen 5. No partial groups, and then select half. Ah, no partial groups is the first rule, and then select half of the number of total shapes on the board. So this works, and this also works. Okay, and this is the final level. This is the final level. We have 10, 15, 21, 28. 28 total shapes. So we need to select 14 shapes and leave no partial groups, right? So what is this? 5 plus 4 is 9. Plus 3 plus 2 is 14. So if we do this, yes, that works. Or we could do this, and that also works. Booyah. Nice. Easy. They're gonna get a lot harder than this, by the way. We're slowly ramping it up. All right. This is now, we are on World 3, or Chapter 3. So Chapter 1 is represented by this like circle to square shape. Chapter 2 was represented by like 1 square, 2 circles, and 3 triangles. There's no line between them. So it's about like maybe counting the number of shapes, right? These all follow a certain kind of pattern within the chapter. This was about the number of shapes, or the number of each type of shapes, or the number of total shapes. This is about start to end. And Chapter 3 is about whatever this symbol is. It's got a little bit of a whatever this is. Okay. Just starting and ending at the middle blank square satisfies both rules. If I start and end here, it satisfies the second rule. If I start and end here, it satisfies the second rule. If I draw a line through all of everything, it satisfies the second rule, but not the first rule. Okay? So, wonder what this is. This satisfies nothing. What if we just draw an empty square again? Starting and ending here satisfies the first rule. Starting and ending here satisfies both rules. Same thing with, wait, this doesn't satisfy both rules. It satisfies the first rule. This satisfies only the first rule, this satisfies both rules. It doesn't seem to matter which order you draw them in. Like up to down or down to up. Doesn't matter. Now that is some reverse Baba's you. Hey Baron. Vertical path avoiding shapes. Okay, that's a hypothesis. Luke Kokas says segregation of shapes. This line separates the circles from the squares. This also separates the circle from the squares. Okay, that could be a possibility. So if we want to separate the circle from the square, we would box it out like this. And that satisfies both rules. But what exactly are the two rules? So one of the rules should be, the second rule is separating the shapes, right? The second rule is separating the shapes, but what is the first rule? This separates the shapes as well, I guess. It counts as like clicking it. Only empty fields. The first rule is only empty fields and you don't get to touch any shapes. Okay, maybe. Can't touch any shapes. Okay. How about here? How do we separate the circles from the squares? Like box them out like this? So the line creates, our line creates 4 corners. That could work, right? Easy. Our line creates 4 corners, we don't touch any of them. If we had just done this, it doesn't separate this. If we just do this, it doesn't separate these. But this blocks everything off. We could even try something like this. We could try something just like this, right? This could also work, yeah. So this still separates all 4 of these shapes. This is stuck in a bigger square than these, but it's still separated. So we do this, easy. Separate the center square from the corner circles. And now, how do we do this? Like that? So even though these 3 squares are separated from this square, it's still okay. They don't have to be together. Same shapes don't have to be together. They can just, as long as different shapes are separated. This is like the witness game, yeah, kind of. How do we do this? Like that. Don't touch any squares. That satisfies the first rule. Don't touch any symbols. That satisfies the first rule. And separate all the different symbols. That should work. Something like this. Separates all the squares and circles. Nice. All right. That is only the first set of the 3rd chapter. Now, I'm in all new territory now. All right. We're in all new territory now. I would appreciate no hints. But if I get stuck, I will ask for what chat thinks, and I'll say "Hey chat." I will say the keywords "Hey chat" if I would like some suggestions. But I would like to try to at least give myself a shot first to solve these puzzles. Thanks, guys. All right, so this just the center square, empty blank square works. What if I do this? That satisfies the second rule. This satisfies the second rule. Selecting everything also satisfies the second rule. So the second rule is satisfied like no matter what. And the first rule is only satisfied if we don't touch the triangles. The only words you're allowed to use from now on, chat, is exploded celery. Okay, what if we do this? That satisfies the first rule. First rule seems to be can't touch any symbols again. It seems to be can't touch any symbols again. The second rule Second rule seems to be separate the triangles from each other. Okay, so this one, my very first instinct is, instead of separating the symbols from different symbols, we need to separate the symbols from the same symbols. So separate the circles from other circles and separate the squares from other squares. Looks pretty good. Now that works, right? Like, this doesn't work. This would have worked in the previous set, but now this separates every circle from every other circle and every square from every other square. Oh. Like this? No. This circle would be with this one then. Like this? This separates everything, right? Yeah. Okay. And then this is the final level. You can tell it's the final level by not being able to see how many rules are at the bottom. Wait, what? Like this? I have to draw a line that separates these two squares and these two triangles from each other, which means I need to have a line here. This needs to be a starting point or ending point, and this needs to be a starting point or ending point. That's the only way we're going to be able to draw to separate the circles from each other and the triangles from each other. So like something like this. Yes! Okay. Nice. Moving on. 3-3. So there's 3 rules. Exploded celery! There's 3 rules in this set. Empty squares don't satisfy any of the 3 rules. Lines of empty squares... Oh. Okay, a horizontal line doesn't, but the vertical line does. For some reason. That's the 3rd rule. So, start at a circle? Looks like start at a circle? That satisfies the 3rd rule as well. Why is that? Start at a circle, end at a square. Second rule seems to be ending at a square. First rule is starting at a circle. And then I don't know what the 3rd rule is yet. 3rd rule satisfied by this horizontal line in the center, but also satisfied by this, and also satisfied by this, and this. So 3rd rule must have something to do with separation, I think. Separating the circles from the squares, maybe. Start at a circle, end at a square, and separate the circles from the squares. Ah. Start at a circle, end at a square, and separate the circles from the square. Wait, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? What? Crap. It's falling apart. Start at a circle, end at a square. Why does that work? Why does that work? But not this. Doesn't this separate them as well? What? That also works. So the 3rd rule, I'm not understanding the 3rd rule yet. I was thinking maybe the 3rd rule has something to do with the length of the line, how many tiles we're covering, and maybe like it needs to be a longer... No, so it's not to do with length. It doesn't have to do with length, because this is short and this is long, and they both work. Why does this work? I don't understand it. But we've got another level to figure it out. Start at a circle, end at a square, right? That works. It's something to do with like, why doesn't this work? And this works. And that works too. So we're allowed to go through two circles. We're allowed to go through two circles. It just has something to do with the separation. We have to make like two separate blank areas. Oh, two separate blank areas. See, there's a blank area here and a blank area here. They're separated. But if you do this, there's only one blank area there. That works too, right? Because there's two separate blank areas. This is a two separate blank areas, where if we did this, there's only one blank area. So circle the square, start at a circle, end at a square, and have two separate blank areas. Like this, right? Woohoo! Okay, I think we got it. Nice. Okay, 3-4. Just like the hemispheres of my brain. Okay, so this satisfies. There's 3 rules here. That was hard. Yeah, that was hard. 3 different rules here. Just a star by itself is satisfying rules 2 and 3. Triangle by itself satisfies rule 2. Blank square by itself or a blank line satisfies rule 2 and 3 as well. Position and direction doesn't seem to matter that much. This doesn't satisfy anything. How do I satisfy the first rule? This satisfies it as well. The first rule is satisfied by... This also works. So it's not about ending at a star. This satisfies the first rule. So the first rule might be something like touch all the stars. Like, it seems like the first rule is only satisfied when we have both stars in the set. First rule, touch all the stars. Second rule, don't touch the triangle. And third rule, I don't know. That satisfies the third rule. Don't leave one row open. Leave one row untouched. Nope, we touched all 3 rows there, and that still satisfies the third rule. I don't know. Is this a trial and error puzzle? It's got some trial and error in it, but I think it's not really brute force, right? I don't feel like this game is it's not very effective to try to brute force this. You gotta actually understand the rules and the game. Touching exploding celery is dangerous at home, yeah. Okay, so star to star still looks good. Why does this not work? Only one blank area? So first rule is touch all the stars. Third rule is leave only one blank area. And second rule is don't touch the triangle. Yep. Touch all the stars, don't touch the triangles, leave one blank area. There we go. I think we got it. Because this doesn't work because this is a blank area as well. Like, this is untouched. I don't know if blank doesn't mean empty square in this case. I think blank just means, like, untouched squares. Trial and error is part of troubleshooting. We just try to narrow it down and target where to brute force by hypothesizing from perceived patterns. That's a pretty good way to put it. Boom. I think we got it. Whoa. How do we do this? Jeebus. How? How do we do this? This is the final level. I thought I had the rules correct, but how do we even draw something here that doesn't separate the untouched areas? We need to have one big untouched area. Nope. Curveball on the final. Wow. So not only is there difficulty in understanding and figuring out the rules, there's also going to be some difficulty in execution. In actually finding a line that satisfies the rule. What? Okay. Crap. No. That's touching a triangle. This is... no. What? Oh, oh, oh! Oh my god. Okay, so like you have to start in the center. If you start on the side, I think it's impossible. Gotta be shapeless like water. Empty your mind. Open your eyes. Or close your eyes, whatever helps. Yeah, I had to try different things. I knew that it would maybe be something about like your starting position. Because if you start at the edge, I think you have to cut something off. But if you start at the middle, you can leave the middle. You can leave the middle column open. Okay. Damn, this is fun. I like this. 4 rules now. Middle out. Oh god, Silicon Valley. Middle out. 4 rules now. This satisfies all 4 rules. That also satisfies all 4 rules. This satisfies rules 3 and 4. This satisfies rule 4. This satisfies rule 4. Okay, so this doesn't satisfy rules 1 and 2. So maybe like rule 1 is start at circle. Rule 1 is start at circle. Rule 2 is end at circle. Okay. Rule 3 is no square. Rule 3 is don't touch a square. And rule 4 is... I don't know. I have no idea. what rule 4 is yet. Okay, rule 4 has to do with separation. Rule 1 started a circle. Rule 2 ended a circle. Rule 3, don't touch a square. Rule 4, separate the squares from each other? Maybe? Started a circle, ended a circle, separate the squares from each other. Don't touch the squares. Nice. Okay. I think we're on to something. Started a circle, ended a circle, don't touch a square. Separate the squares from each other. There's not even a square in that. Whoa. Whoa. Uh-oh. Is this even possible? What? Huh? This is almost right. This separates all 3 squares from each other. But I don't... How do I end on a circle? Oh, we don't actually have to go here. This doesn't touch the other squares, so we just go this way and end on this circle. Okay, oh my lord. Final level of this set. Not quite. This is separate from this, but these two are not separated because I couldn't draw a line here. If I could draw a line here, then we might be able to do it. So what if I do this? Oh, snap. We start here so that we don't have to turn to the right after we go up the middle, and then we can turn to the left and block this square off from this square. Can you end on the same circle you started with? Nope. You can never go through the same tile more than once in this game, as far as I know. This game reminds me a lot of The Witness. Yeah, you're not the first person to say that. I like this game, though. I like this game... I don't know, I feel like I like this game more than The Witness so far. The Witness had some really weird stuff, but this might get really weird as well, who knows. Okay, new set, 3-6. 4 rules. Circle to circle works. So the 4th rule, again, is probably about some sort of separation. Did I try the looker? I did try the looker a little bit. Have I finished it? I don't know if I finished it or not. I got kind of far in the looker. I don't think I finished it. I got to the Snake arcade game, and I think I got a little bit past that, and I stopped at that point. What's the point of the dotted line in those first puzzles every time? They're a suggestion. It's to help you get started. I don't know if it will exist for the entire game, but at the first level of each set, it gives you a viable answer that satisfies all the rules. Just like that 2-4-6 philosophy problem that we were talking about, that philosophy problem, it tells you that 2-4-6 satisfies this rule to get you started, to give you a starting point to help you test things. So it's not like you're not just like blindly testing at the beginning. So you know that this works. Circle, and starting at circle, ending at circle. So starting at circle, ending at circle. Don't touch any squares. I feel like this is very similar to what we had last time, but maybe a different rule 4. Rule 4 previously was don't let the squares touch each other. Here, why does that work? This works. So the squares need to be in pairs? I think so? The 4th rule is now this... Wait, what? But there are no squares here. The fudge? Each blank space, each blank area needs to have a pair of matching shapes. Each blank area needs to have a pair of matching shapes. It doesn't have to be squares. So this blank area is one big blank area and is a pair of matching circles. Now I've cut them off so the blank areas are not together. See, the 4th rule is satisfied here because this is a blank area that has 2 circles and this is a blank area that has 2 circles. What the hell? Wait, how do we do... What the... Oh, it doesn't need to be matching. It only needs to have 2 shapes. 2 shapes of any kind in a blank area. Start at a circle. Rule 1, start at a circle. Rule 2, end at a circle. Rule 3, don't touch a square. Rule 4, each blank area needs to have exactly 2 shapes in it. This is the same layout as the previous one, but it's just a different rule now. Wait, how are we gonna... Okay, so we gotta group one of the squares with a circle. There's an empty space right here. This would work, right? This is a pair, and this is a pair, but this empty space, can I get rid of that empty space? Yes, like this. And now this empty space goes with the square pair. Wait, yes, there we go. Nice. I think we got it. Final level, just in time. Holy shit, this looks like a spaceship, or a heart. It looks like a heart. What is the Taylor Swift conundrum, Baron? Start at a circle, end at a circle, and each blank area... Don't touch a square, and each blank area needs to have exactly two shapes. Or is it maybe just an even number of shapes? Oh wait, the blank area on the outside has nothing. Almost. This is almost right. If these two were connected. But I can't connect these two, ever. Something something blank space? Oh. I get it. Aww. So this didn't work. It's not just an even number of shapes in the blank area. Okay, so how do I separate? I need to group a square. I need to group each square with a circle. Because the squares can't be grouped together, and I can't touch the squares. So I need to group each square with a circle. But if I do this, the blank space on the left is not touched. This is almost right. Can I fill in all of these tiles here on the left? Easy? I think this should do it, right? We filled in all the blank squares on the left, and now we have 3 blank areas with 2 shapes in each of them. I think there should be multiple solutions to this, but something like this works. Sometimes you need to let the eyes go out of focus, like 3D art, yeah. Okay, well, we've unlocked Chapter 4 and Chapter 5, but I'm going to try to finish Chapter 3 first. 5 rules? This is getting a little bit crazy. 5 rules now. So, empty square satisfies rules 3 and 4. Start at a square seems to be rule 1. And no, start at a circle seems to be rule 1. End at a square seems to be rule 2. Rule 3 might be... Rule 3 or Rule 4 is don't touch a triangle. And Rule 5... I don't know. Rule 5 is 1 blank area. Exactly 1 blank area. Start at a circle, end at a square. No, it's not exactly 1 blank area. Rule 5 is satisfied here. Each blank area has exactly 1 shape. Rule 5 might be each blank area has exactly 1 shape. No, that doesn't work. If it was each blank area has exactly 1 shape, this should be correct for rule number 5. But this works. This doesn't work, but this works. The blank areas have the same size? This works too. I don't know. I'm not sure. These are getting hard. Okay. See, the blank areas are kind of symmetrical. In order for rule 5 to be satisfied, it's like the blank areas need to be a little bit symmetrical. See, we do this. This satisfies all the rules as well. We're not touching a triangle. The blank areas are symmetrical. We're just not satisfying start at a circle, end at a square. What is rule 4? So rule 3 is don't touch a triangle. Rule 3 seems to be don't touch a triangle. What is rule 4 that this works? Why doesn't this work? I don't know what rule 5 or rule 4 is. So both of these, they satisfy rule 4, but they don't satisfy rule 5. This also satisfies rule 4. This does not satisfy rule 4. Rule 4... maybe something to do with the number of shapes. The number of shapes... No? Crap, I don't know. I don't understand why this doesn't work. This one maybe will help us. So Rule 5 has nothing to do with shapes in the empty sections. Rule 5 has to do with the size of the empty section. Or like dividing the entire area. No, see, why doesn't this work? Why doesn't this work for rule 5? But this works for rule 5. The empty sections. What? I'm losing my mind. What? Okay, it has nothing to do with symmetry. I don't know, it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with symmetry. This isn't symmetric. So far, all of this stuff has been symmetric, but this one just like... This satisfies rule 4 and 5. Each blank area has one shape in it. That's rule 5. Each blank area has exactly one shape in it. No, that's not true. That's not true. Same number of icons in blank areas. No, that's 2 and 1 there. What's the policy on backseating? I would prefer not to for you guys not to give hints or to type your ideas until I am fully stuck, and I will say hey chat to ask for any sort of ideas or advice. So thanks Felix for asking. Let's go to the next one and see if we can figure something out here. So I just drew the... Oh, it's not the same size. This is a different size. This satisfies rule 4. This satisfies rule 4. What is rule 4? What is rule 4? And what is rule 5? Oh my god. See, rule 5 doesn't seem to have anything to do with the same path. The same path satisfies rule 5 on every level. Or... It doesn't seem to have to do with shapes. Rule 5 is satisfied here if... if you divide the total area into... I don't... It looks like some sort of like division of the entire area into two separate halves, but this one confuses me. Does it have something to do with maybe the number of selected tiles versus the number of non-selected tiles? This is 6 tiles that we selected. This is 6 tiles that we selected. This is 6 tiles that we selected, but it doesn't work. It doesn't satisfy rule 5. This is only 4 tiles and it works. 4 tiles and it works. It has something, it's got to have something to do with the separation mechanic. The main thing I'm confused about is the fact that every solution looks symmetrical except this one. This one perplexes me. So why doesn't this work? This doesn't satisfy rule 5, but this does. Got to the point in a boss fight in Jedi Survivor where you need to stop for today and try again tomorrow. Absolutely brutal. Is it the Rancor? I saw someone fighting the Rancor and it looked pretty tough. What difficulty are you playing on? This satisfies rule 5. You think you got the 5th rule? Alright, Felix. What is rule 4? I'm not sure what rule 4 is either. This even satisfies rule 4. Is spoiler? Okay. Gotcha. Middle difficulty? Gotcha. Rules 1 to 3 are easy. Rule 1, start at a circle. Rule 2, end on a square. Rule 3, don't touch a triangle. But I've barely made any progress on rule 4 or 5. This satisfies rule 4? Even this just satisfies rule 4. What? This satisfies rule 4, but this doesn't satisfy rule 4. And these don't satisfy rule 4. Why is it exactly these two squares satisfy rule 4? You can satisfy rule 4. You can satisfy rule 4 by just selecting one tile. But it changes. So, second row, first column, second row, third column satisfies rule 4. And that's the same here. First row, second column satisfies rule 4. But not here. This is a 3x3 grid, this is a 2x3 grid. Okay, these two are the same size. Let's see if we can figure out some rule 4 stuff. This satisfies rule 4. Somehow, so the rule 4 seems to have something to do with shapes. Because it seems to be satisfied when we select the triangles as the only square, but except not here. What the hell? Why? Why? This satisfies rule 4. This satisfies rule 4. Could rule 4 be like the triangles are separated from each other? Triangles are separated from each other, but there's only one triangle here, so I don't know. Let's see, like... Rule 4 seems to be something like triangles are separated from each other. But I don't know how that works when there's one triangle. You see, when there's one triangle? When there's one triangle, every single solo square works except for the square that has the triangle in it. Rule 4 has something to do with the triangle. But this doesn't work. This doesn't work, but this works. What the hell, man? I'm molding. I'm actually molding. And I'm still not sure about Rule 5. Rule 5... Oh, man. We got stuck. We're feeling... Let me see here. Okay. You see? With two triangles... When there's two triangles on a level, Rule 4 seems to be separate them from each other. But I don't know what it is when there's one triangle. And then... Rule 5 mostly has to do with symmetry, except here. I can't touch a triangle. I thought that maybe that would work. This is the only solution to this level. I think I've tried pretty much all other combinations. I thought maybe this would work because it looks pretty symmetric. This is the only solution to the level. There's still more. This set has so many levels. It's so hard. I mean, the rules are really difficult to decipher, so they're giving you a lot of examples. Why doesn't this work now? This looks like it should work. Rule 4, separate the two triangles. Okay. I have an idea. Rule 5 is split the level into equal size pieces. Okay? Rule 5 is activated because there's a 3-piece dark and a 3-piece light. 3-tile light, 3-tile light. I sound like I'm ordering from KFC or something. Can I have a 3-piece dark, 3-piece chicken, dark meat only? Rule 5 is separate the level into equal size pieces. See, this is 3-tile, 3-tile, 3 tiles. 4 tiles, 4 tiles, 4 tiles. 6 tiles here and 6 tiles here. 5 tiles here, 5 tiles here, 5 tiles here. 6 tiles here, 6 tiles here, 6 tiles here. Right? This is 7 tiles, 7 tiles, 7 tiles. Rule 4, when there's 2 triangles, I understand Rule 4. When there's 1 triangle, when there's 2 triangles, it seems like maybe Rule 4 is like each area needs to have at least 1 shape. Why doesn't this work? Okay. Holy crap, it's so big now. Dude, okay, how many tiles are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's an 8 by 9 grid. So there's 72 tiles. There's 72 tiles. We're gonna make three sets of 24. 3 areas with 24 tiles each. Because we need 1 area for this triangle, 1 area for this triangle, and then 1 area for the dark selection. So like something like that. Oh my god, this sensitivity. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 17. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 25. 25. Here, 24. And then how much is this? Is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. God, I'm good. God, I am good. We have 3 sections of 24 tiles each. And the triangles are separated from each other. But I still don't know what rule number 4 is exactly. All right, this is the final level. Oh, God. There's an odd number of triangles. Oh, no. Panic. There's an odd number of triangles. What are we supposed to do here? All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 96 tiles. 96 tiles here. I don't know if we're looking at three partitions or 4 partitions. We'll try 4 partitions. That's 24 each, right? 24 each again. Okay. So the top left triangle has 24. The top right triangle has 24. But the bottom left triangle is messed up. So like this? What's the bottom left triangle at? 3 times 6? 3 times 7? 21? Plus... So like this. Chat, do you think this is gonna work? Is this gonna work? Bottom left triangle has 3 times 7, which is 21 plus 3. You think it's gonna work? I think it's gonna work. Oh my god. Alright, so what is rule number 4? What exactly is rule number 4? Is it like each blank area needs to have at least or exactly 1 shape? Am I asking chat yet? No. See? This satisfies rule number 4. What the hell is it? But this does not. This satisfies rule number 4. It makes no sense. What? And maybe rule number 4 is... I was gonna say maybe it was like an odd number of shapes, in each blank area or something like that, but that doesn't work. Like this should satisfy rule number 4 if it was an odd number of shapes in each blank area. See, this also satisfies. An odd number of triangles in each blank area. Or exactly one triangle in each blank area. Oh, that could work. Exactly one triangle in each blank area. The reason this doesn't work is because there's not one triangle in the blank areas. This works because there's one triangle in the blank area. This works because there's one triangle in the blank area. It doesn't care about the number of triangles in the dark areas or in the selected areas, but it cares about the number of triangles in the blank areas. I think that's consistent with everything. Exactly one triangle in each blank area or in each non-selected area. We could task the last one to see. Well, no, we can't test because on the last puzzle we can't see the individual rules. But that was worth a shot. Yeah, there's no way to divide this level into 2 separate pieces of equal size and have all 3 triangles in the same area, right? Because these are both on the borders, which means when we draw a line from the circle to the square, it's going to separate at least 2 of these triangles. Yeah. Okay. Wow. All right. These are getting hard. Okay. This is down to 3 rules. And this is the correct solution, or this is one of the correct solutions that satisfies all 3 rules. This satisfies rules 2 and 3. This satisfies rule 2. This satisfies rule 2 and 3. This is also correct. This satisfies rules 2 and 3. So why does this satisfies rule 3, but this doesn't satisfy rule 3? This satisfies rule 3. Rule 3 has something to do with maybe number of shapes in certain areas. Rule 1 seems to be something like touch 0 shapes. Touch 0 shapes. Don't touch any shapes whatsoever. Rule 2... Is rule 2 always satisfied on this level? Yeah, I think so. I think no matter what we draw, rule 2 has always been satisfied. Okay, let's go next. It's another one like line here. So this works again. This doesn't work. This works. Rule 3 might be an odd number of shapes in each blank area. No, that's not true. This is not odd. Rule 3 could be that the blank areas should have different number of shapes, not the same number of shapes. This doesn't satisfy rule 3. This doesn't satisfy rule 3 or rule 2. That satisfies rule 3. This satisfies rule 3, yeah. So rule 3 seems to be something along the lines of the different blank areas should not have the same number of shapes. What is rule 2? Rule 2... I was gonna... what the hell is rule 2? So rule 2 is always satisfied here as well. when there's only one line or one row, when there's only one row on the level, rule 2 is always satisfied. This satisfies rule 2 and rule 3. Why does that satisfy rule 2? Rule 2 has something to do with circles? The circles are on the edge here, you see? The circles are on the far left and far right. So it may, rule 2 may have something to do with the number of circles. Maybe like you can't have more than one circle in each blank area. Yeah. See, this doesn't satisfy rule 2 because there's 2 circles in the same blank area. Whereas this works and this works because the circles are not together. This doesn't satisfy rule 2. So now we need 3 different sections. This satisfies rule 2. There's no multiple circles in the same area, but there's the same number of shapes in each section. So I need 1, 2, and 3. Like this. The blank area should have different number of shapes in them, and none of them should have more than one circle. Easy. Oh my god. I feel like a genius. So we separated them into 3 different sections. There's a circle by itself, a circle with a square, and then 2 squares with a circle. So this is not going to work because these 2 blank areas both have 2 shapes. So quick, thanks, Felix. There's only 2 rows here. Makes it very tricky. Because like once I move to the other row, I can't. Oh? 1, 2, and 4 instead of 1, 2, and 3. There's an extra shape in this level. I didn't even realize that until just now. So 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, 4, and the circles are separated. Okay, final level. Final level. We need to not touch any shapes. Circles can't be grouped together. And groups should have different number of shapes within them. Cheapus. So I need to draw something here, right? This needs to be a starting or ending point in order to separate this circle from this circle. Does this work? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, these 2 circles are in the same area. This does not work. This works? No, it doesn't. There's 2 sections with 1 shape in them. Oh god. Why is this so difficult? It's almost good. Except there's 2 sections with 3 shapes in them. No? Damn it. Okay, what if I try going this way? What if I go to try doing this way? No. Fudge. This way. Okay. 1 circle, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh man. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got him. Got him, got him. Uh-oh. Okay, we're gonna try to finish this set. We're gonna try to finish this chapter, chapter 3, and then we'll call it. There is a question mark level, like a bonus level. These bonus levels are like kind of thinking outside of the box sort of thing. Like this bonus level had me drawing outside of the grid. Is there only one solution? No, I don't think so. I think some of these levels have multiple solutions. But you just gotta, if you understand the rules correctly, then you should be able to figure out if there's multiple solutions or not. All right, 3 rules. Third rule is something like covering a line, maybe, or dividing in half, like having the same size. I don't know. Third rule, something like having the same size covered area, same size dark and light areas. Second rule is don't touch a square. First rule is something with like all circles. Second rule, don't touch a square. Third rule, equal sized areas. First rule, get all the circles. It's not equal sized areas. First rule does seem to be get all the circles. This satisfies the third rule. So, first rule seems to be get all the circles. Second rule, don't touch squares. Third rule, I'm still not sure of. Third rule, this works. This works. Anything that like touches 5, not 5 things, but like this sort of like L-shaped corner 1x4 seems to work. 1x3 doesn't work. 2x3 doesn't work. Okay. This satisfies get all the circles, don't touch a square. Right. Okay. What exactly is this third rule? It's not like the dark section has more shapes than the light section. because then this would work as well. Hey, Leo. Hello. 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 My wife came in here and had me sniff Leo's butt to see if he had pooed. It was definitely poo. Yeah, we still need to work on rule 3. We got all the circles. We don't have to start at a circle. How do we satisfy rule number 3? I can't even figure out a solution. Oh. Oh. Okay, both of these work. So both of these work. This does not work. So there's some symmetry involved. Rule number 3. The blank sections are exactly 3 squares. 3 squares blank section, 3 squares blank section, 3 squares blank section. You see, this satisfies rule number 3. This satisfies rule number 3. That's a 3 tile blank section. That's a 3 tile blank section, and these are 3 tile blank sections. That's a 3 tile blank section. Ha! Okay, so... What? I thought that would work. These are 3 tile blank sections. Maybe it is the total number of blank sections. The total number of... How do I do that? I can't do this. They were not? Wait, but this isn't... This has 2 separate 3 tiles. Wait, what is not? I don't understand what you guys are saying. They're not. In the last level, I didn't do it right? Oh. Okay. I see. So this is now. Okay, so I was right. I was right that each blank section is exactly 3 tiles. I just messed up somewhere, I guess. Like one of these was like 4 tiles or something. Okay. Get all the squares. Each blank section is exactly 3 tiles. Dude, this is going to be so hard to execute. What? Almost. Almost. So close. I can't have this one be 1, 2, 3 because then I can't separate it from this one. And I can't have it be 1, 2 because then I can't separate it from this one here either. Or can I? Maybe I can do this. Because I don't have to start at a circle. But then how do I separate this from this? Okay, how about this? Wait, no. Jeez. This is hard. I wanted to do something like this. So three on the upper left, 3 in the middle. Like, this is close. This is really close. Alright, what if we just do these 3? What if we just do these 3? If we just do these 3, we could do something like this. And then these 3, and then I have this problem here. Right, this is so close. The problem is I need to change one of these dark squares that are touching this square into a light square, but still be able to draw my path. And it can't be this one, it can't be this one. It needs to be like, I don't think this works. It needs to be like this one. But if it's this one, then my path has to go down here. And then I have to give this section another white square here. And then this is a problem. Okay, what if we do this? We start in the corner. This is kind of close. Ah, fucking A, man. Oh my. The tricky one is we gotta figure out which 3 tiles to let this middle one. Which 3 tiles do we let this middle one take? Something like that? Oh my god, dude, this line drawing. This line drawing is impossible. Like, this way is almost right. But now this is only at 2. And I can't give this square because then it'll be adjacent to this. And I can't give it this square because then I can't draw my line, and then I can't draw a line here. And if I give this square to here and this tile to this one, and then they'll be connected. So what are the possible 3 tile sections for this upper cube? It can't go here. It can't be these 3 because this will then connect with this. It can't be these 3 or these 3. So it's this is maybe valid. This is maybe valid. And this is maybe valid. Okay. So what if we do something like... Oh, snap. Do-do-do-do. Love to hear that sound. Wow. That is tricky. That is tricky. To find a line that can separate all of these squares and then have them in their own 3-section grid. 3-section blank, 3-grid blank area, or 3-tile blank area. Okay. 2 more. 310. This is valid. This is also valid. These are not valid. Okay. First rule seems to be don't touch any shapes, potentially. First rule, don't touch... There's only 2 rules on this one. First rule, don't touch any shapes. Second rule, split them into pairs. Don't touch any shapes, split the shapes into pairs. See, this doesn't split them into pairs. Even something like this should work. Yeah, so it seems to be good. That also works. That works. This does not work. So basically, the same type of shape needs to have its own pair within its area. Wow. Whoa. Huh? Okay, so like, what? There we go. We gotta connect the squares to each other and then separate all the other circles into pairs. Ooh. Like that? Nice. Center area with 2 squares, 2 circles. Outside area with 2 squares, 2 circles. And then this with 2 squares. Nice. Okay. I'm scared. This question mark, this bonus levels are pretty tough. They were already tough for chapters 1 and 2. Chapter 3 has been harder, way harder. Okay, this chat, we need to think outside the box. I'll show you guys real quick what chapter 1 and chapter 2's thinking outside the box was. So this was like, draw a circle, start at a circle, end at a square, go through a star, don't touch the triangle. Go through at least 1 star, don't touch a triangle. Those were the rules. And you were like, okay, we could do this, start at a circle, end at a square, go through at least 1 star, don't touch a triangle. That's fine. And then they do this on you and completely block out any path. You go through at least exactly 1 star, I think. This didn't work. You'd have to go through exactly 1 star. And so, like, you would draw outside of the actual box, which was freaking, yeah. I got stuck on this for a little while, and then I tried something, and it actually worked like this. So that was the concept for thinking outside the box for chapter 1. Chapter 2, this, you know how chapter 2 had to do with, like, the number of shapes, right? draw from like the most shapes to the least shapes. Certain levels seem to focus on guessing the rules and others on drawing the line. The game looks super interesting. You love it. Nice. This is like yeah, something like draw circle to square. Wait, what happened there? I don't. Oh, I think I remember what happened in this level. This was cool. This was cool. Let me show you this. So let's reset all of this stuff. Okay, so this one was like draw circle to square. Circle to square is the valid answer. Start at a circle, end at a square, and I think like don't touch a triangle. Yeah, start at a circle, end at a square, don't touch a triangle. Except okay, this wasn't a good example because I just happened to step into the right solution. But say you ended up like this, you'll go to the final level and there'll be no circle. The final level will have no circle in it, and you're like, how am I supposed to complete this? The rule is start at a circle, end at a square, don't touch a triangle. There's no circle. But the thing that you realize is that the circle on every level other than the very first level, the circle spawns at the end point where you ended the previous level. So if I don't have a connection here, if I don't have a line here, there's no circle in this level either. So if you connect here, the next level, the circle spawns at the end point of your previous level. If I connect here, the circle spawns here. So if you go all the way to the end, if you end at this square, the circle cannot spawn where there's already a square. But so you need to end at this square somehow. So you need to work backwards and have your circle spawn towards the bottom. And then your circle spawns here, and then you win. Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? So keep that in mind. It's gonna be some like out of the box stuff. Okay, so this is wait, what just happened to the box? The box moved when whoa, okay. When we draw a line to the box, it gets pushed. So start at a circle seems to be maybe the first rule. End at a square is the second rule. Third rule is, I don't know what the third rule is. Third rule is like maybe the line needs to be shorter than 3. Fourth and fifth rules maybe has to do with separation and like the number of exploded celeries in each area. Because this satisfies fourth and fifth rule. This doesn't though. I don't know why this doesn't then. This satisfies fourth and fifth rule. Okay. Start at a circle. What is the third rule? What did we say what the third rule was? Did we have a... With the size of the line. Line needs to be only 3 tiles long or less. Nope. What is the third rule? Whoa. So like I gotta push the box. What? It pushed the box back onto my line. Holy cow. So I think we want to try to have like this also pushes the circle back as well. Yikes. This almost satisfies everything. It satisfies start at a circle, end at a square. It satisfies something along the lines of... So this satisfies rule 4 and 5. This satisfies rule 4. Five is like each blank area has exactly 2 shapes. Perhaps. Each blank area has exactly 2 shapes. Is something I think maybe could be for 5. Exactly 2 shapes. And then 4, I don't know. 3, I don't know either. We're allowed to draw... Wait, let me see here. I don't think there is a rule that is like... You can't draw through exploded celeries. Because this still satisfies rule number 3. Look, blank area has exactly 2 shapes. That works. Everything gets pushed. Not just the square gets pushed. Everything gets pushed. Whoa! Whoa! I had to push the stars in a way that grouped them together at the edge of the map. So that each blank area has exactly 2 shapes. But what is rule 3 and 4? What the hell is rule 3 and 4? Every solo tile on this map satisfies rule 3, but the solo tile on this map... Every solo tile on this map also satisfies rule 3. Line is you, line is push, yeah. Okay. Okay. What's rule 4? Rule 4 maybe needs to be the same type of shape. Rule 4 might govern the type of shape, because these are all stars and these are all exploded celeries. But here we have down arrows and up arrows. So we like maybe we need to do... Wait, how the hell do we even do this? How do we get the up arrows together and the... What? Oh, we gotta push them. We gotta push them. Okay. These aren't together. Almost. We're almost there. Okay. But we still don't know what rules 3 and 4 are. We're not getting any more information. Start at a circle, end at a square, right? Oh man. What if I did this? So rule 5 is not satisfied because we have blank areas with no shapes in them, and we need all the blank areas to have 2 shapes in them. Rule 3, why is rule 3 not satisfied? And what is rule 4? Seems like rule 3 has to do with how many shapes are going through the line. I think rule 3 gets broken if the line goes through more than 2 shapes. It's not just go through circle and square, because look, this, wait, what? See, this still satisfies rule 3. This satisfies rule 3, and that we're going through other shapes. But I don't know why this, no, this works. But this doesn't work, you see? So I think rule 3 is like the line can only go through 2 shapes total. At most. At max, it can go through 2 shapes. That seems to be rule 3. At max, the line can go through 2 shapes, which limits it to only the circle and the square, since you need to satisfy the first 2 rules. Okay, so and then I don't know what rule 4 is. This area is causing me trouble, so we can do this. Oh! Okay, so we've connected this blank area with this exploded celery area. Huh? Okay, so this is not right because there's a blank area that has no shapes in it. What if I just did this? It satisfies the blank area, has no shapes in it. It satisfies we haven't gone through more than 3 shapes, but it doesn't satisfy starting at a circle and ending at a square. So we need to find a way to fill every single tile we need to find a way to fill every single tile. Oh my good lord. Oh. Fill every single tile of this level and then start at a circle and end at a square. And I didn't actually start at a circle. Did you guys see that? I didn't actually start at a circle, but then I pushed the circle into the starting square, which I guess counts as me starting at a circle. Was that luck? No, I was purposely trying to do that. That's why I started at this square that this tile that didn't have the circle in it, because I thought I would need to probably access this square and come down in order to push the square. So many squares and circles. Jesus. Okay. Okay. Each blank area needs to have exactly 2 shapes. This is not going to work, right? Because they are... I need to like separate these. What do I do about this? I have this like extra square that I can't get to, that I can't fill, and I can't push I can't push the endings box around because it's in a corner. If I go like this. Okay, that works. I filled this empty square on my way over so that it would not be empty. And then we've got this empty area with 2. Yay, Leo! Hey. All right, chat. I'm gonna go play with Leo. We finished chapter 3. Pretty cool. We'll try out chapter 4 tomorrow, along with some Gwent. Thanks so much for watching. Good night, guys. Thank you. This was Understand, by the way. This game is super cheap on Steam. If you guys want to try it yourself, maybe before I spoil some of the later puzzles for you guys. I got this game for like $3 on Steam. It's called Understand, and I think there's a lot of content because we're only 25% of the way through, and there's like, of the first whatever this is, I don't know why there's 3 different boxes, but 25% of the way through means that there should be 12 levels, right? Or 12 chapters. 12 chapters to this world, and then there's 3 worlds, which means there's going to be something around 36 chapters total. We're only finished with 3 chapters. So, seems like there's going to be a lot of levels. Pretty cool stuff. I wonder how difficult it will be getting, because it's already pretty tricky. I wonder what these kind of symbols might imply for World 4 and World 5. Bye, Felix. Thanks so much for hanging out. See ya, X1.